Where are they? Right there. Here, get up.
Alright, we need another carry shot himself. Clear, 41 and Birch.
The final moments of a manhunt heard through police dispatch.
They're calling in 911.
Only one shot was fired.
The female suspect shot herself. The male suspect gave up.
An Indiana sheriff says numerous weapons, wigs, and $29,000 in cash were found inside the car.
There were at least 4 handguns, semi-automatics, 9mm. So any one of these weapons could have been used to ambush our officers.
Police chased the pair in southern Indiana after their car was spotted in a motel parking lot by an Evansville police officer.
Members of the U.S. Task Force basically rammed the vehicle and pushed it into a ditch. And we later found out, had they not done that, the fugitive was going to engage in a shootout with law enforcement.
The fugitive, Casey White, was driving. Vicky White was found in the car and died just hours later after law enforcement said she shot herself as the pursuit ended.
She was unconscious with the gunshot wound to her head, and the male suspect gave up without incident.
Tuesday, Casey White waived his extradition hearing in Indiana, saying he wanted to go back to Alabama.
When we bring him back, he will immediately go before the judge and transported directly to the Department of Corrections.
The pair, who are not related, disappeared from an Alabama jail April 29th after Vicky White told colleagues she was taking the inmate, Casey White, to the courthouse for a mental health evaluation. They never got there, and no such evaluation had been scheduled. Authorities later found her patrol car abandoned in a shopping center parking lot.
She purchased the getaway car. She sold her house, got her hands on cash. She went shopping, bought clothes for him. She just obviously put the plan together.
Then the pair fled in a pickup truck, which was later spotted at a car wash in Indiana, then transferred to a Cadillac, which was spotted about a week later at a nearby motel.
Sheriff, do you have any idea what they were doing here for a week?
Well, I think he said that he was just trying to find a place to hide out and lay low, and they thought, they'd driven long enough that they wanted to stop for a while, get their bearings straight, and then figure out their next place to travel.
The manager at the motel said he didn't recognize them when law enforcement showed him their photos.
The guests they were looking, nobody was here under that name. So we do not know whether they stayed at my hotel or not.
There's a lot of questions that won't be answered until we have a much deeper investigation.
Now, the sheriff told me he believes Casey White and Vicky White couldn't initially get a room at that motel because of a lack of ID, and that they paid a separate person to rent the room for them. But it's still unclear if that person even knew who they were at all, because the sheriff says there are no other suspects in this case and no plans to charge anyone else as part of this investigation. And while there are still some loose ends to tie up, at least on the Indiana side of things, the sheriff says he believes this case is solved.